How's it going, Guardians? Shifty here, and today I'm back with a weekly vendor video. Every week on Tuesday, I like to make a video going over the vendor armor and weapon rolls. Now, I do want to mention that the armor rolls are generally going to benefit newer players, but every once in a while there might be a piece that stands out to veteran players as well. In these videos, I like to start by going over any standout armor rolls for each class, then I like to go over any decent Banshee weapon rolls, and then at the end of the video I show off footage of the remaining armor and vendor rolls for the week. That way you can go through and check out all of the armor pieces and see if something stands out to you that I didn't mention. Alright, before I get into it, if you end up enjoying the video, make sure to hit that like button, and if you're new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe as well. Before I jump right into the armor rolls, I do want to mention that this week's armor rolls were generally better than any week in Season of the Lost so far. With that said, I am going to start with Warlocks, and unfortunately there was only one semi-decent piece available this week. That armor piece is leg armor sold by Devrim Kay, and it has 23 intellect and 12 resilience. It also has middle to high single-digit stats in discipline, recovery, and mobility. The only reason I'm mentioning this piece is because it's really the only piece that stood out at all to me for Warlocks, and it has 23 intellect. So if you're a new player and you enjoy using your super ability, I would recommend picking this piece up. Now of course, if you already have better armor, then you don't need to be picking this one up. Next up, I want to move on to Titans. The first piece of armor here is sold by Failsafe. It's leg armor with 24 discipline, 14 recovery, and 10 resilience. The overall stat here is 54, but if you are a new player, this is an excellent starter piece of armor. You have 24 discipline, which will help you get your grenade back faster. You have 14 recovery, which is going to allow you to heal faster and re-engage in both PvP and PvE. And for Titans, resilience is tied to your barricade cooldown, so that 10 resilience is going to help you get your barricade back faster. The next piece is leg armor sold by Zavala. This one is a little bit better than that previous piece with a 58 total stat. Here you have 20 discipline and 19 recovery. Many players like to prioritize discipline and recovery. As I already mentioned, discipline is tied to your grenade cooldown, and recovery is tied to how fast you heal. Since both discipline and recovery are hovering around 20, this is a solid piece to pick up. Titans have a third piece of armor this week that is pretty solid. The Drifter is selling gauntlets with 26 intellect and 18 recovery. 26 intellect is great if you're going for a super based build. This piece alone will get you a quarter of the way to having 100 intellect. On top of that, intellect is the most expensive mod to slot in, so having high intellect on a super based build will leave energy slots on your armor open for other mods. And the cherry on top here is that 18 recovery, so you heal faster. Alright, now it's time to move on to Hunters. Failsafe is selling leg armor with 19 recovery, 16 discipline, and 12 intellect. I've already gone over the benefits of recovery, discipline, and intellect. This piece of armor benefits from having decent stats in all three of those. This next piece is probably the best armor that's been featured all season long at the vendors. The Drifter is selling chest armor with 23 intellect, 16 recovery, and 13 mobility. Again, I've gone over pretty much all of these stats, but here you have a 62 total stat. You have 23 intellect, which is going to be 2 tiers in your intellect stat. You have 16 recovery, which could help you increase your recovery by 1 or 2 tiers. And you have 13 mobility, which could also help increase your mobility by 1 to 2 tiers. So overall, this armor piece is going to help you get your super back faster, it's going to help you heal faster, and it's going to help you get your dodge back faster. Alright, that's all I have for any standout armor rolls for each class this week. Now I want to move on and talk about any standout Banshee weapon rolls. Before I get into any specific weapon rolls, I do want to mention that these weapon rolls will change again at 7 PM Central Time on Wednesday. So if you want any of the rolls you see in this video, you're going to want to pick them up before that time. So the first weapon I want to talk about is the Whispering Slab. Since we do have an overload bow mod this season, bows are an excellent choice in many activities. Overall, I would say the best bow perks this season are Vorpal Weapon and Explosive Payload. This bow doesn't have either of those, but it does have a decent roll still with Swashbuckler. So if you don't already have a better bow, especially a kinetic bow like Whispering Slab, I would recommend picking this one up. Next, the first in last out shotgun is a pretty solid PvE roll. Here you have a magazine perk that increases the magazine size, and you have that paired with auto-loading holster and demolitionist. Auto-loading holster is going to reload this weapon when you have it stowed for a short time. Demolitionist will make it so kills with this weapon will generate some grenade energy. Demolitionist also makes it so if you throw your grenade with this weapon out, you will automatically reload it. You can see with that mag perk on, this one has 7 rounds in the magazine. You also have 2 ways to reload this weapon without actually having to manually reload it. Then I want to talk about the Eternal Blaze on Scout Rifle. I know Scout Rifles aren't in a great place, but when they do come up with anti-champion mods, They make an excellent choice for hard activities. Also, they can be kind of fun to use in PvP depending on the map. I know there aren't many long range maps, but if you get something like Midtown and go the long lane, scout rifles can be a really fun choice. With that said, the roll here is pretty good. You have armor piercing rounds, you have full auto trigger, and you have kill clip. The only one there that really depends on your taste is full auto trigger. However, as long as you have the material, it never hurts to pick up a weapon and try it out. This week, Banshee is also selling each of the class specific swords. The one that Banshee is selling for Warlocks and Titans isn't all that great. However, the one for Hunters is a pretty solid pickup. You have Tireless Blade and one for all here. Anyway, that is all I have for weapon recommendations from Banshee. Now I'm going to show off footage of the remaining armor and vendor rolls for the week. If you want to stick around to check those out, feel free to do so. Otherwise, I hope that you have a good day and I'll catch you on the next one.